Hi, I'm Bob Harvey. Welcome back to Big Daddy's Barbecue Pit. Today, we're going to try our first brisket. So I'm going to try to walk you through the process of all the steps to make a brisket and see how it turns out. So the first step is I took it out of the cryovac packaging that came in. This is about an 18-pound USDA Prime Brisket. Didn't really want to do something this large to begin with for my first brisket, but what we're going to do is we're going to clean up some of this skin, some of the fat, and I do not want to overcut on the brisket. I'm going to try to leave, as you can see here, there is some thick fat down on the back side of it that we're going to try to clean some of it up, but I want to leave, I'm going to cook this fat side down, so I'm going to leave a layer on the bottom to help protect the meat up here. And again, if you're new with briskets, this is the flat, this portion's the point, and the grains run a different way. You can see the flat's running this way here in the video. The point's running more away from us. So I'm not going to separate it before I cook it. I'll wait and do that after we're done with the initial cook. But I'm just gonna, as carefully as possible, and trying not to take too much off. I'm gonna trim this down, and I got my hand underneath it to hold it up, and just take some of this fat off to get down to where we're gonna rub this eventually. So I want to make sure that the rub isn't really going to stick to that fat. So we want to get it down far enough to where we're able to get some rub on it. And I'm trying to get down to get the meat to show through a little bit on this side, because that's pretty thick there. You can see a big piece here. Just gonna trim that back. It kind of goes down in. I really don't want to try to gouge the meat or whatever. I'm just trying to clean it up. But we're going to take it back. You can see we're starting to get down into the meat a little bit there. And we want to try to expose some of this meat to get the rub in it. We're going to be cooking this brisket on our pellet smoker. I was going to try the hot and fast method, but I was a little nervous about it. So we're going to cook this thing real low and slow. It's probably going to take all night. I'm certain it will. So we're just going to keep trimming on this, and I'll get all this off. Down here, this fat will come off. But you can see there's a big, still down in there pretty good, thick piece of fat through there. It's hard. So we flipped it over. We're going to work on the other side. And I don't want to take, I want to get it down to about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. Don't want to take too much off of this because you want it to help protect the meat. But like I said, I'll be cooking it fat side down. So I'll try to get it down to where it looks a little uniform. Like I said, this is my first time ever, and you can probably tell of cooking a brisket, trimming one up, so go easy on me. So I'm just trying to clean it up. Like I said, I don't want to butcher it, take too much off. A lot of this will cook down. So we got it cleaned up to the best of our ability, we'll say. Turned out pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some beef broth that I had made up, and we're going to inject it. And you want to look for like every 1 inch, kind of go along and just inject it. Put a few cc's in each one. And then after we're done doing the injection, I'm going to take what broth's left, put it over top of it, cover it, and we'll let it sit for about 5 to 6 hours, and then we'll put it on the smoker. So I want to let it rest first. I'm not going to rub it until right before we put it on the smoker, because I don't want to put a lot of salt on this and draw out any moisture. So I'm just going to take our injection syringe and fill it up. So just come along here. I'm not going down in too deep. You can see it's starting to blow back. This is kind of cool because you can kind of feel the meat filling up with the broth as you're doing this. You see a lot of it shooting out. We're going to put what's left of this broth here on top of the brisket, and then we're going to cover this up with foil. We're going to let it sit, like I said before, about 5 to 6 hours, and then at that point we'll rub it down, get the smoker going, and get this thing on. So check back with us in about 5 hours. We'll be ready to go. Hey, welcome back to Big Daddy's Barbecue Pit. We've let this brisket soak now for almost 6 hours. It's a little after 9:30. We're going to go ahead and rub it down. I'm going to go real basic here, salt, pepper, and then I'm going to try a new product that's put out by Kosmos. It's called cow cover. So we'll get to see how that works on this brisket. So we're just going to start, and you can be as liberal as with your seasonings as you want. This is a lot of meat, so I mean it's going to take a lot to get down in there. Not a lot of this is going to get to the meat. The salt, where the fat and skin's at. So we're going to cook that side down anyway. So we'll give it all a shot here. Okay, now some of the cow cover. This stuff smells really good, so hopefully it'll add some good flavor to it. We'll just kind of push in a little bit. We don't really want to rub it because you don't want to push anything off of it. And I'm going to flip it over and get the other side. So when I take it out on the grill, this is actually how it's going to cook. So again, start with the salt. Okay. And we're going to hit it with the pepper. This is our first one, so we'll see, next time if we got to add a little something, do something a little different, we can do that. And then some of the cow cover.
Nice color.
So it's going to give it a good color. And we got this, we're going to cook this tonight on a Z Grill Pellet Smoker. I got some hickory, some oak in it. Running about 225 an hour a pound. This thing, before we trimmed it, it was about 18 pounds. So I'm guessing now it's probably down around 15 and a half, since we took all the fat and everything off of it. And we're going to give it probably 15 minutes, let this rub set, and then we'll put it on the smoker. So hey guys, we're back. Our pellet grill's coming up. We got it set at 225. We're going to try to get it up to about 160 and then wrap it. It's probably not going to be until about 7 or 8 tomorrow morning. Like I said, now it's about 10 o'clock. So now we're going to put it on. Hi everyone, welcome back to Big Daddy's Barbecue Pit. So last night we put this on the pellet smoker and we cooked it at 225. It took it about 7 hours to get up to 160. It did stall, like everything I read about and seen in videos, at around 150, 155. Once it passed that point though, it climbed pretty quick. So I pulled it off, I wrapped it up in some butcher paper and put it back on and kept it at 225, and it came up to 202, 205 in a couple different spots. I pulled it off, I left it wrapped up, put some towels around it to keep it warm, put it in a foil pan, covered it with foil, and just let it rest for probably the last 5 hours. So now we're just going to cut this up and see how it tastes, see how it turned out. And we're cutting against the grain here. You can see the grain on this meat's running this way. And it's falling apart. You can see the juice still in it. We're just going to continue on up, cut this flat off. And then you can see the points here. It's separated by this layer of fat that runs in between the point and the flat. So we'll try this piece right here. You can see it bends nice. You know, there's still, I left a lot of fat on the bottom to protect it during the cooking process. I'm going to take that off, the bottom part of it. Let's take a bite. It's very good. You can see the smoke ring here and on the bottom. You know, it pulls apart really easy with a little tug. So overall, this brisket turned out great. It was USDA Prime, 13 hours on the Z Grill Pellet Smoker, 225. Let it sit for about 5 hours after the cook and cut it up and enjoy it. Thanks for checking us out. Stop back again.